50.
50.
That's wild.
He shows the first leg.
Worked out quite nice for a rhythm player like Michael Smith, because it enabled him to stay in the same area of the board. Good recovery.
He is the kind of guy that thinks about shots that are at the same level, the same height, those kind of things. There's a very intelligent shot there. Admittedly, not the best first dart.
I was going to say, let's not pretend he meant it from the off.
Not at all.
100.
But Simon Whitlock beat Michael Smith the last time they met in a quarter-final of the European Tour event. That was earlier this year. The German Darts Masters. Whitlock
100.
ran out a 6-4 winner, and that brought to an end a run of 5 consecutive defeats at the hand of the bully boy.
Well, it's Michael Smith that's been compounding the misery of Joe Cullen recently. Joe Cullen just can't seem to bring his best game against Michael Smith. I'm sure they'll play each other quite a few more times in the future. But Simon knows about his record with certain players. He talks about that kind of thing a lot, as you and I both know. We spent a lot of time with him.
96.
So he'll have known that breaking that streak of Michael Smith over him will have been a big thing.
Yeah, and he felt he owed Michael Smith one. He'd beat him at the match play the year before, but since then, Simon Whitlock has won 5 PDC titles. Michael Smith's rediscovered his form too, had a couple of years slugged, didn't he?
So you call 108.
As Whitlock looks to level up, but Smith's going to get the opportunity to steal a march here.
Michael, you call 81.
Probably look at the same segment, the treble 19. 62. 26.
55.
He's annoyed.
You require 52.
For someone of his talent, and his throw, double 13, is almost a gimme. That's in though, and Whitlock is on terms.
Now, my analysis of Simon Whitlock's game and how it's developed and changed
100.
since we saw him burst onto the PDC scene, let's say, is that his scoring's got better, but he's not as
96.
clinical on the finishing that we came to be accustomed to, because he was the king of the big finishers, wasn't he, Simon Whitlock?
Absolutely.
Sometimes looks a little shaky on doubles these days, I think that's fair to say.
I think that's just coming down and understanding
54.
what he's done with his equipment. He has focused more on scoring heavier to give himself more chances, and the sacrifice is that with his older, wider, more bulbous darts, he was more destructive on doubles, but with these he does score better, and I think it's a conscious sacrifice, because if you're going to beat the likes of Peter Wright, the Andersons, the Chisnells and the Van Gerwens, you've got to score.
Well, the other thing as well is that if you're scoring better, you're not having to take out big finishers because you're not on them.
Yeah, he wants to be sitting on things like 81 and 82 after 9 darts and not 170.
Well, he could be on 40 after this visit.
71.
Sublime from Simon.
64.
But Smith will have first stab at the checkouts.
48. Simon, you require 40.
And Whitlock's pressurising setup shot has seen Michael Smith falter. Double 10. First break, first blood to Simon Whitlock.
Signs are good for the Wizard. Looks like he's getting better with every game.
Game on.
Making Michael Smith think a little bit. I was saying to Michael Smith in the break between the sessions,
59.
has the baby been born yet? And he said, no, baby's hanging on, waiting for daddy to get home. And I said, you're a bit like Kyron Wilson in the snooker. He
100.
came back from a trip and the baby was born pretty much as soon as Kyron got home. Congratulations to Kyron Wilson on becoming a dad.
Well, all will be forgiven if he arrives home with £25,000 and the trophy.
I don't think he's struggling for cash right now, Michael Smith, because he's been playing so well. But can't argue with another big check in the mail.
Yeah, picked up that title in Gibraltar. He's already reached 5 European Tour semi-finals this year. This is event 10. So his form has certainly found its way back to where it was a couple of years ago. Now, you said that Simon Whitlock was the king of the 170.
Well, today.
45.
Well, not on this occasion. Will Michael Smith have a poke at this? Well, no! 2 attempts,
45.
2 near misses.
Simon, you required 25.
Isn't this marvellous? But it might be about to get better for Simon Whitlock, who's still grinning as he approaches the board. But double eights. Well, that was a long way off.
21. Michael, you required
Maybe
25.
your point about missing the odd double, that was it right there. 5 for double 10 for Michael Smith. Back up to 5s.
20.
Splits it, and he is visibly frustrated.
Simon, you
Yeah,
required
certainly is.
4.
Whitlock with a chance to extend his lead to a couple of legs. Having lost the first, wants double 1 for 3-1. Great marker. Can he use it?
2.
Grouped it too well.
One of those
Michael,
darts
you
that you
require
can't believe
5.
it didn't go in. Double 2 for Smith. Double 1. It's a madhouse race.
No score.
But he's busted
The
score.
last 2 visits from Michael Smith.
Simon,
He goes
you
5
require
double 10,
2.
but then he has to get a back above the dart in the single 5, and exactly the same, and it's a difficult task if your darts stand up even slightly.
Little
No.
lower, Simon.
No
Little
score.
higher, Simon.
Well, the last one's left-handed. I'm wondering where that one went. It would have been
Michael,
ironic if it found its way to the
5.
double 1 bed, but Michael Smith again. Well, that's only just in. It's getting a little nervy up there.
Can he hit it this time? No, it's
No
gone
score.
next door. The goalkeeper's in all the doubles right now.
Well, it's madness
Simon,
in Mannheim.
you required 2.
And Simon Whitlock's in the madhouse.
Thank you.
Feels like
Thank
ages
you.
ago they were having a shot of 170s. Well, Michael Smith can now see the funny side of it. It won't be funny if Simon pings this double 1, looking for an angle. And again, gets it this time. Simon Whitlock,
Simon Whitlock.
loving that he's at the madhouse, and the crowd delighted that the leg is over.
Game on.
Well, Simon Whitlock enjoying himself. But Michael Smith
134.
is one of those legs that could have gone either way, but it was a very strange end to the 4th leg of this match. But it could be the pivotal
97.
one. Sometimes happens like that.
You can see both players have got a little bit of jewellery around their neck. And Simon
123.
has an actual gold nugget around his neck. Now, the story behind that nugget is that there's a dart tournament in Central Australia where if you win that tournament, the prize is a nugget of gold.
60.
Now, he's won it more than once.
I'm just checking Paul Nicholson's neck for nuggets.
You won't be finding any nuggets here. Simon's won it multiple times, and he keeps one of them on a
140.
necklace around his neck, and he wears it at all times. It's a fascinating story, and what's more, it's a great tournament. Golden Nugget Classic, I think it's called, funny enough.
96. Michael, you require 100.
104 for Smith to regain his composure and calmness.
84.
But again, the more doubles missed, the more it will mess with Michael's head. And how Whitlock would love to land a huge score here. Just to up the ante. That's perfect, Paul.
Yep, so's that. So's that. Just going to make Michael Smith think a little bit.
20.
But before he thinks, hang on a minute. Oh, he couldn't find a way through. It's not looking good for Bully Boy right now. Whitlock might steal.
68.
Yep, a hazardous second dart, and he couldn't find a way past it. Simon Whitlock, having landed the 180, he's looking at a 68 checkout for another break. Tops he wants, and tops he gets.
In the 5th leg.
The weird and wonderful
Simon
waves
Whitlock.
of the wizard, and this time it comes up trump. Simon Whitlock has a 3-leg advantage.
You won't see many people go that way for 68, believe me. But there is some method to the madness, and Michael Smith is one of those guys who will understand, because he hits a treble 14, he leaves double 13. They're on exactly the same height.
140.
Also, Paul, if he slips either side, he'll still get a dart at a double on the outer ring. When if he misses either side of the 20, he may only end up with a dart at the bullseye. Now, I know that a professional player of Simon Whitlock's quality will not go there thinking about missing the big target, but it is a percentage shot.
It's an insurance policy, absolutely right. And what's more, he leaves a very open bed at tops if he does hit 2 single 14s. So
look at that. 24 dart, 4th leg. Simon Whitlock has put it to the back of his mind. I'm not sure that Michael Smith has.
You have to sometimes, because these Sundays on the European Tour are very long days potentially, and you're going to have little troughs and peaks. Got to play the swings.
Simon, you require 164.
Well, he couldn't get the 170. 2 treble 19s. And he would have gone for it because Michael Smith himself is on a 3-darter.
Well, last time he had a shot himself, didn't he, on the 170? So, treble 20, treble 19. Would have been ironic, wouldn't it, had the Bully Boy managed to take out that combination, having struggled on the double so far.
Yeah, great darts from Michael. Has to rely on Simon Whitlock missing this 60. Gets the 60. Double top to make Michael Smith even more depressed.
Well,
I think Simon Whitlock enjoyed that shot, and why not? Shanghai on 20s, and he wants to win this, make no mistake.
32.
Yep, after the madness of that 4th leg where neither player could seemingly hit a double, Simon Whitlock pinched it in the madhouse and then has taken
57.
out 68 and 120 in the next 2 legs to put himself in cruise control.
57.
There are aspects of this game that Simon will be thrilled with. Some of the finishes, and I emphasize some, stealing a couple of other legs.
60.
But Michael Smith will be disgusted, is probably the right word, with his performance in this match so far.
41.
And if there is anybody in the world who can wrap off 5 legs in a row, Michael Smith is definitely one of those players.
Well, he's outscoring Simon. 13 tons to Simon Whitlock's 5. And then they're pretty similar on the 140s, and they have a 180 each. Although Whitlock did have a 171. Scratch that.
How does it go in the 180 song just before the coverage starts? Trebles are funny, but doubles make the money.
100.
In fact, at times in this match, the doubles have been quite funny, Paul.
Yes, they have.
Michael Smith missed 13. Whitlock's missed 11. But it's the 5 that he's hit that count.
63.
That evens up the score, takes the odd 63 off.
Yeah,
He's going to come back and finish it off at 100.
Might not get another
64.
chance.
Simon, you require 100.
To improve his checkout percentage of 7%. A ton for the Wizard to move through to the semi-finals. Is it tops, or is he staying there?
60.
I think he wanted to go tops, but the treble looked inviting.
Is the treble inviting now? No, it's not.
65.
The curtain might fall on Michael Smith's time in Mannheim right now.
40.
3 darts at tops. And Whitlock goes through to play Klasno van Gerwen.
Double 10 it is for Simon Whitlock, a 6-1 win against Michael Smith. A win on the European Tour this year, but for the second time on the Euro Tour in 2017, Whitlock has beaten Michael Smith in the quarterfinals and will take on either Jelle Klaassen or Michael van Gerwen in the semi-finals. That is coming up next. But Simon Whitlock, well, he had trouble yesterday. in his win against Daniel Larsson, but it's a much improved Wizard today, and who's to say that he can't go all the way and clinch a title here in Mannheim. Let's grab a quick word with the Wizard, and then we'll be back with the old Dutch affair between Klaassen and Van Gerwen.
Simon, congratulations. Welcome to the semis.
Oh yes, it's nice to be in the semis. You know, I played all right then. Yeah, there's one funny leg there where we missed doubles, but you know, I'm here. I'm still in, feeling good.
Simon, everybody who saw you playing in 2015 and 16, you fought so much and you practiced so hard. 2017 is a good year. You won 3 tournaments. It's the second semi-final European tour. These are good results.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I work hard. I work on my fitness. You know, I'm doing everything right as far as I'm concerned, and now I'm getting results. It's fantastic.
And that's important for motivation, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very important. You know, everything's important these days. Every match is important, you know, for selection for Premier League and things, you know, World Series, everything. So, you know, I work harder than anybody, I think.
Jelle Klaassen or Michael van Gerwen? If you could pick.
No, look, I don't mind. You know, Michael's best player on the planet. Jelle's coming back from wrist surgery. I think it's going to be a good game.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Simon Whitlock. Sagt, es wurscht, wer jetzt kommt, ob Jelle Klaassen oder Michael van